So today's episode is we're going to play a little bit of Big Bank Take Little Bank. We know who's the big brother and who's the little brother. We're going to talk about it on 94 Feet of UNC.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
Swicker with the defense and the rebound. That's a good effort by Swicker.
Stackhouse streaking in on Park. Rebound stock is good, and he gets fouled by Park. Oh my goodness, what a dunk by Stackhouse.
Interesting that he brought him back so quickly, but you know what? They're down 8. It's very... You can't teach that high-rising ability. 3. And Green rips down the rebound in traffic. 4-on-1. Great job. What a terrific job in transition. I mean, you could...
The glass no good. Rebound followed by Hansgrove. Good! Carolina.
Inside 30 overall. Love, top of the key.
Alice, the belt is over. Carolina. The Tar Heels have won the national championship.
And that is it. There is a new team in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title. Have been any finer. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. And this year, the confetti is going to fall to North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the 94 Feet of UNC podcast. I am your host, of course, Mr. Linzel Graham. I got two big special guests in the building with me today. Both of them my brothers. One of them my brother of another color. One of them just my brother from a different mother. Like, it is what it is. But I ain't getting into all of the big introduction and stuff today because we gonna get right to it or whatever. Because some of us got some hard outs and they got to handle some other business or whatever. So, but y'all already know everything else. Follow on socials, get the merch, all of that stuff will be in the description below. So, other than that, I'm getting right to it. Y'all don't know that it's been a long time since we've been trying to set this thing up. Is that me glitching, y'all? Y'all see
Yes, like
Davis Wi-Fi.
Here we go.
What you say is that Hubert Davis Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
I don't know why
Davis
this thing is
Wi-Fi. It's not connecting.
Linzel's on here looking like we're about to be in one of those horror movies where a group of kids get catfished by some online predator.
Nah, don't do that. I got to figure out what's going on, man. This ain't good. I got a feeling it's because of my other projector over here, man. My other screen that I'm trying to get set up with all of this. So it's all of a sudden now it wants to start glitching. I don't get it, man. It is what it is. But listen, people just don't have to deal with it today. I mean, because we've been setting this up for a long time. So y'all
Months
already
in the making.
Yeah. Look at that. I done froze up. Like, oh my goodness. What?
We might have to take over the show, Riley.
Well, a peek behind the curtain, Pablo. You know, Linzel texted us an hour before we recorded and said, "What are the topics?" To which both of us said, "You're the host." So it turns out maybe it is on us. So this has been months in the making, coordinating with all three of us to get a little conversation going about UNC and Duke's respective rosters. So we're giving y'all an early look at the best rivalry in the sport. I think just looking at where we're coming from, we've all talked about this roster a lot offline. I think Pablo and I, we go back and forth on which Duke guys I'm skeptical on, which guys I'm higher on, and likewise with him in Carolina. And then, you know, of course, we got Linzel, who has been supplying you with breakdowns of everybody on the roster on his channel. And, of course, some of his classic Linzel hot takes. Never forget all the Seth Trimble slander that he's uttered. But, you know, so we'll hash all of that out today.
You wasn't supposed to say that, Riley, but okay.
Okay, maybe slander for Seth Trimble is a little overstated. I would say you have been a Trimble skeptic, maybe. And honestly, I see where you're coming from with that. I wouldn't say skeptic seems like too harsh of a word, but he's someone who I think just seems to be polarizing among the UNC fan base. We see this in your Discord, Zell. Like, people have discussions about him all the time. It seems like across the board for Carolina fans, there's disagreements on what is his role, what is his ceiling, how is he best optimized for this team. He's someone who I loved covering last year from a media perspective. I feel like he was one of the few guys who, even when speaking to him, he'd give you the unfiltered answers. He'd actually share what was, what he saw on the court, what was going on in the team. And it was really just like a good personality, fun guy to talk to. So I became a fan just from that perspective. But, in terms of what he can do on the court, I think that's where it's just one of the bigger question marks for this team. Is he that guy that we saw pre-concussion in Maui in the Memphis exhibition who, when given a little extra freedom, can take over? Or is he still more of that fourth or fifth option type who you want to have shot creators around him and let him just do his things in terms of attacking a closeout, straight line to the basket, getting out in transition? I'd love to see him more as a point of attack defender, which I think we will see this year. But yeah, I think he's probably, if you want to talk about the Carolina roster and what you're projecting forward, probably starts with how you view Seth Trimble.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely think it's a make or break for UNC for Seth Trimble to really have a good year. I think he could really, do a lot of good and a lot of harm at the same time if he doesn't have a good year. And because I think they do need somebody to be elite in some aspect of the game to go along with Caleb Wilson. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I've always said one thing about Seth Trimble is that, he's going to play hard. He's going to play hard. He's going to play defense. What I don't want to happen next year is Seth Trimble be the player to go out there and try to prove that he can shoot the ball to get to the next level. Just play your game. You know what I mean? Like Hubert Davis needs to draw something up to where Seth Trimble is absolutely getting to the basket and is relentless. You know what I mean? Attacking the basket damn near every time you get the basketball. You know what I mean? Not mid-range jumpers or three-pointers and things like that, because that's not his game, and I think if he plays to his strengths, he's got a good chance to be successful, and he can really take Carolina to the next level along with Caleb Wilson, in my opinion.
My only thing about Seth Trimble, and y'all already know, and everybody, of course, in the Discord knows, and I've even said this on his player breakdown episode, is that I growing up as a UNC fan, I've been a UNC fan forever since I can remember. Yeah, it is what it is, Pablo. Whenever you're ready, you can come on over, dog. Like, it is what it is. But my only thing is, I grew up with knowing when shooters shoot, like the Donald Williams era, the Shammond Williams era, the Joe Fortes, the Wayne Ellingtons, like. I grew up in that type of era. So when I see guys like Seth Trimble, as far as the rest of his game, it's to me, it's flawless. 80+% from the free throw line. Great guy that can get to the basket pretty much whenever he wants to. Solid defender. Probably one of the best defenders that UNC has probably ever had. He's going to go on that list, probably, for sure. So, he has the all-around game. The only thing that I've just wanted him to get better with is his shooting. And to me, if he, like Pablo just said now, don't force yourself shooting, but being a little bit more consistent than you have been, to me, it would make the team so much better. And if you're going to be in that role and in that two and in that starting position, then that is something that is needed. And for Carolina to pretty much just go wherever it is that they're trying to go. That's just been my only, a gripe. I don't know if it's even a gripe, but that's just been my only issue. So,
no, I see where you're coming from. And even to what Pablo was saying, you're talking about him attacking the basket. How are you, is he getting offense within the flow, I would say, rather than forcing the issue? I think shot selection is almost a bigger area I want to see of improvement alongside the 3-point strides. I'll harken back to that game in the Dean Dome. This is where I wanted to get your thoughts, Pablo, just as an opposing fan. You go back and look at the box score. Seth Trimble shot 1 for 9 that game against Duke. He was 0 for 6 from inside the arc, 1 of 3 beyond the arc, 0 for 6 inside the arc. And to me, it was one of those textbook examples of, his ever-changing role throughout last season. He was in and out of the starting lineup. He was kind of fending off Ian Jackson from taking his minutes for a time period. Then Jackson fell out of favor with Hubert, and it seemed like Seth kind of stepped back into that role. But then they went bigger, playing Drake Powell at the 3, Jalen Withers at the 4, which still relegated him to the bench. So there's part of me that looks at, what his shot selection looked like at his worst last year. and can't help but wonder, was this because of the crowded backcourt with him having a concern for not knowing if he's getting pulled, how long he's on the bench for, wondering what his minutes were going to look like, to where it's like, okay, I'm in the game, I got to get these shots off. And I wonder with him, he is the elder statesman of this team. He's the lone returner who was, in the rotation last year. And you're looking at reports, whether it's from Inside Carolina or Tar Heel 24/7 or outlets that cover the team, that are saying Seth Trimble stepping up as the vocal leader. He's the one who guys look to. Now, in terms of who are we looking for to go get you a bucket, it better be Caleb Wilson. That's the guy who I want the ball in Caleb Wilson's hand in crunch time. But in terms of like the guy who's rallying the troops, who people follow, team chemistry, all of that, who can calm the team down, keep them composed, I think Seth Trimble can excel in that role.
Yeah. I'll hit on something that you said that was a little interesting, but I think it's kind of twofold what we saw with Seth Trimble last year. I think shot selection definitely was one of those, but I also think that when you talk about shot selection and Seth Trimble, right, if he needs to pass the ball, who the hell was he going to pass the ball to last year anyway? You know what I mean? I'm just being honest, and I'm not trying to front, you know what I mean? So I think that kind of played into, what some of the things that we saw as far as, field goal percentage and maybe some turnovers and just little things like that. Because, he didn't have anybody to pass the ball to.
Hey, if he's passing it to Lubin, Lubin's fumbling it, and then a turnover is getting attributed to Seth Trimble on the stat sheet.
If he's passing it to Elliott, he definitely won't get an assist because he's not going to make a jump shot. I think overall, like, the team was just a bad shooting team. And I'm not trying to, I love all these guys, man. I love all these players, man. So I don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop lying,
bro. I'm definitely a Duke fan, but I definitely show love, right? And I speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. But like realistically, who was he going to pass the ball to last year? And I think that can kind of weigh on you sometimes as a player, because it's like, okay, especially like you play a team like Duke last year. They were giants. He's going to the basket 1 for 9 against Duke. He's pulling up to shoot the ball. He's getting contested. He's like, okay, I have to pass the ball. But who the hell am I going to pass the ball to? You know what I mean? So it's like he's stuck, just shooting the ball, and he knows it's not going to go in. So shit, he was almost better passing the ball to himself. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, and you can't do that. That's a violation. So
just throw it off the backboard, right? Go up and get it, throw it off the backboard.
Yeah, he might as well have done it. I just don't really think that I want to say obviously he's not a bad player in my book, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people were very, very critical of him because they expected more. But, it's just like anybody, man. If you are the guy on the team, right, and you don't really have a team around you, you can look very bad. Like, look at like a guy like Patrick Baldwin Jr. You know what I mean? Like, all teams did was game plan for him. And realistically, all Duke did was game plan for Seth. They knew he was the only person that could really hurt them. You know what I mean? Like, don't let him get in transition, contest everything, make him pass the ball. Because once the ball's out of his hands, it's like, hey, we good. We'll let Elliott shoot. Van Lubin, he can't catch the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? Washington's soft. Other old buddy, he's soft too. So it was a perfect storm, man, for to have a bad season for Seth Trimble last year. I do expect him to bounce back this year and play well. I want to see him play well. Like I said, regardless of who I cheer for, you know what I'm saying? Like, basketball is always better if UNC is good. And y'all been cheeks the last year, bro. So it's like the last couple years. So it's like, bro, like let's get it back going, bro. Let's get this rivalry back going. And let's be able to really watch some good basketball. So I'm excited for y'all.
So real quick,
Riley, we've been cheeks like 2.5 of the. Okay,
yeah,
I was just gonna dispute it there.
Real quick, Riley, before you go. So my only thing, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? Again, this is a 4th-year player. You don't get those too often. So. Again, every year, just being a Carolina fan, and if you studied the game and if you know the game, every year a player gets better at something. Like, that's just a known fact. That's just the business. If a player is not growing and getting better in 4 years, then something's wrong for sure. And to me, everything has gotten better except the shooting. And that's just my only thing. Now, like Pablo said, he's got a lot of he didn't have nobody to pass the ball to last season. This year has quite a few options where he could get the ball to. And that's where I think he may not have to shoot as much because of the fact that he has so many other weapons now around him. That's all. I think he should take a lot of shots.
I don't think he should force shots. Now, I'll say this, right? If he catches it and he turns around, looks at the rim, and he's open, let that baby fly every single time. You know what I mean? Now, if it's something that's about a 50-50, he should drive.
Only if his confidence is up, though. His confidence has to be up. Like you said, I don't want to see 4 shots. I don't.
For sure.
Not when you got all of the other weapons around you. That's just that's going to defeat the whole purpose to me.
I'm just saying. I just think he's just going to have to be really, really good, man. He's gonna have to be good. Like,
and he will be. We're going to beat the Blue Devils for sure. But go ahead, Riley, and what you was going to say.
Hey, I'm looking at this backcourt as a whole. I kind of want to talk like when you're breaking down UNC's backcourt versus Duke's backcourt, like what are your big takeaways? What even individual position battles could you see there? I know like if we want to turn to our rivals and we're talking about, it's almost like the parallel with Duke with Seth Trimble, I would say is Caleb Foster. You know, his other guy entering his 3rd year into the program. Jeez. Some of those same question marks as Trimble in terms of the jumper. And, you know, you've seen him fall in and out of favor with Shire. There were times like, wasn't it the Champions Classic his freshman year against Michigan State where he came off the bench for 20, but then it seemed like, this guy might be league bound. You know, he could be a one and done. But then last year, it seemed like he really fell out of favor with the coaching staff until that Carolina game in the Dean Dome, and he dove on the floor a couple times, and all of a sudden, John Shire was all about Caleb Foster again. But Pablo, what are your expectations for him?
So just to go back to last year, right? I mean, I think he struggled with his confidence, right? He didn't have a terrible season, but he didn't have the season they expected him to have. You know, it was kind of like the same. It was really, it kind of mirrored like Tyrese Proctor's career. So if he has a big junior year this year, it's going to look really similar to what Tyrese Proctor was. Good his freshman year, struggled like hell his sophomore year. His junior year is where he took the jump. Right now, you see him; he's in the league. So that's what we're hoping for Caleb. I think he just got to keep his confidence high. I think he's been around the program, you know, for 3 years now, and not just that. I don't even think the kid went home for a break. You know, he's just been in the gym. He knows he has to be better. And I think that's going to be very, very critical for Duke, is for him to be better. Because if he isn't, guess what? We got another guy waiting in the wings. But that's the luxury that you get at Duke. You know, you're always going to have another player that's pretty good that's, you know, waiting in the wings to play. So I'm hopeful for Caleb. I really am hopeful for Caleb because I think he definitely has it in him. He's definitely a talented kid. And I think he's taking that lead role, you know, where he's being more vocal and just really stepping up to be a leader because he's the older guy now. So I think we'll see a 180 from last year. I'm hoping so at least. But I think our backcourt is better than yours. Yes.
Okay, so I think it's, to me, when you look at these two rosters, Linzel, you can weigh in because I know you. I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle with both of y'all, where I know Pablo all along has been saying you got to get ready for another sweep. Carolina can't hang. Carolina can't match the depth, the athleticism, all of that. Yeah, breakout seasons from both Caleb Foster and Pat Gongba. Linzel, I know you've been a big believer in this roster. I think you tend to be a little more optimistic than me in general when it comes to Carolina sports. but I'm looking at, so like these backcourts, you know, if you're talking about Caleb Foster's at the 1, at the 2 is Dame Sarr, and I guess you got Caden Boozer. Slim. You think it's Slim at the 2? And then you have Dame Sarr and Caden Boozer.
But there's really no difference between the 2 and the 3, really. So
you think Dame's at the 3 over Haminia?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that, like, I'm a big Sarr believer. I've been beating the drum that I think he'll end up being Duke's second best player. But then there's various reports. I think like Brendan Marks from The Athletic had a report sometime late summer, maybe it was early August, mid-August, that Nick Kaminia had been more impressive than Sarr early on, and so that there's a chance Sarr would be off the bench. But I think like when you're comparing the backcourt with both of these, they have two questions, or they both have question marks, I would say. Like when I look at Duke's roster overall, I think Cam Boozer is the best player among two teams, and like he'll be a top 3 pick for a reason. And I think he's the one who elevates Duke's ceiling and makes them the clear-cut better team than Carolina, and even just I would say taking a step backward after what UNC did last year in terms of just vastly underachieving, getting down big to every good team they played, like going down 20 in the first half all the time. I just need to see it. I need to see something different. I need to see that they have exercised those demons compared to Duke right now, who's coming off of a Final Four berth. And say what you will about how they flamed out against Houston. They still won, 35 games and beat nearly everyone in the ACC by 20. They were 20-piece teams, making it look simple. It would be like under 15-minute mark in the second half, Duke was up 20 and the game was just over. So I think I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt right now, even with some of their question marks. But even just looking at the backcourt, I think is a little bit closer there, just because, you look at someone like Isaiah Evans and Pablo. I know he's another guy you're really high on. With Evans, he's probably the one in this backcourt. I don't know. I would say I'm really skeptical of Foster making a jump just because he's been so inconsistent in his career. I like Caden Boozer, though. I think what I've seen of Caden Boozer, the sooner he can get, I think Duke hits its ceiling if it's Caden Boozer playing at the one. I think he's got the chemistry with his brother. He has the size. He can pressure the ball, and he's a really good passer. And then Sarr, to me, I think just has a lot of like the bag work type stuff where he can go get a bucket, but he also has a 6'8" wingspan or something like that. So he has defensive tools. He might even have a better wingspan than that. But so I would say I'm more skeptical of Foster and Evans. With Evans, to me, I just want to see what does he look like being asked to do a bigger role this year when last year everything was created for him. All he had to do was let Cooper Flag, Conca collapse defenses, and let man, I guess he was really just there to set the tone defensively. But with what they were getting out of Con and Cooper on offense, it was like, Linzell could have been out there stepping into some of those threes. And I bet Zell is shooting 35% at least on that Duke team last year. So,
37, right? 37.
Well, I think Denzel, not Denzel, said Denzel. Linzell is more of a rugby guy, but I'll say that I think.
Oh, okay, all right.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, O'Reilly. You make some good points. But I think Isaiah Evans is one of the biggest wild cards, man, to have on a team in college basketball in general, bro. Like, he can literally, with just his, just his energy and play can win you a game just based off, doing one thing, and that's shooting the ball. So I think he's going to feast next year. And I think that's why I say I would give our backcourt the nod over Carolina's backcourt, is because we do have a player that, that's, if he's not, you can't call him elite, he's very close to being elite. And I think that's Isaiah Evans. And I think that's what you guys lack in the backcourt, is to have like an elite player. So I think Evans is going to be good, man. I've heard some other stuff. We'll talk about that offline, but some other stuff, going on or whatever. But I do believe he's going to be the starting 2 guard. And Dame is going to be 3. And the thing I like about Dame, though, man, and I think what's going to help Duke with Dame in the lineup is him in transition. He's so good in transition, bro. So good in transition. He's so fast. Wingspan is long, like you said. Takes long strides, could get to the rim. Ultra athletic. He's a dog. He's going to try to punch it on you. So, I think when you, combine players like Slim and Dame, who are polar opposites, I think it could come out to a good result as long as, Caleb Foster is delivering the ball where they needed that. So, with Dame, I think it's all about pitching the ball ahead, and sometimes even with Slim, but I know that he's supposed to be, attacking the rim a lot more this year because he understands that guys are going to be trying to run him off the line because of, how prolific he was last year in shooting. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how Shire does this. And I know that Coach Brad's, the new assistant coach, has his hand in a lot of this stuff. And he wants to, play like a pro-style game. And, that's pretty much 3-point line pick and roll stuff, transition. So I think that's going to suit them well, man. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. And I think
how tall is
Carolina? Who you guys know?
Committee is
like
6'8".
6'8". How tall is Sarr?
6'6".
6'7", 6'8".
All right. Pablo's giving every Duke player he's exaggerating.
He's like 6'7", 6'8", bro. Sarr is literally like 6'7", 6'8", and so is Slim.
I think Sarr is like 6'6".
I think
Sarr is like 6'6", 6'7".
Hold on, bro.
I thought Kaminia was like 6'6", 6'7", though.
Nah,
listen. Either way, let me just say this. Number one, because I'm just gonna say it. Caleb Foster's cheeks.
Dame Sarr is listed at 6'8".
They're
Okay,
lying.
well,
They're
either
lying.
way,
That is
yeah,
that is cap.
yeah.
How do
Either
you
way,
figure that they
Caleb
lying?
Listen, Caleb Foster's cheeks. I just don't.
You're lying.
I don't see. I don't know what it is with him. To me, he's gotten. I mean, you've gotten played over every year. Like somebody is always taking your spot, bro. Like every year is supposed to be your year. These 2 years, whatever the case may be. I don't see that changing this year. I think if anything, Darren Harris might step up and be bigger than him because he's a better shooter than him. I think. I mean, you still got Caden Boozer, of course. Kaminia is. I mean, they talking about putting him in the 2 spot. He's been showing out for sure or whatever. And I think Sarr might end up coming off the bench. Now I can't say that too much about him like that because I haven't really watched his game or seen a whole lot about him. But of course, you got to put Slim at the 3. To me, I mean, I think he fits perfect at the 3 spot instead of more at the 2. Now you put him at the 2, of course, he's going to be a little bit dangerous just because of his height.
But like I said, it's really no difference between a 2 and a 3.
Well, that really could be true, but I mean, it is when you throw in the variables of height. To me,
if you're playing traditional basketball, there's a difference.
Yeah,
but
if you're gonna play traditional basketball,
nobody plays traditional basketball anymore.
Yeah, but Slim is
you got a ball handler, you got wings, you got post players, and it's like go ahead.
Isn't he 6'9"?
No, Slim is like 6'6".
Slim's 6'6", and Dame Sarr is listed at 6'8".
Okay, so all right.
Riley
so
says they're lying. I think they're telling the truth.
All right, I'm looking at this Duke roster right now. There's no way Dame Sarr is 6'8".
I don't think he's 6'8" either.
Dame Sarr,
is, bro.
I don't think
I'm gonna look at what he was listed at for Real Madrid. I guarantee you Real Madrid listed.
I don't think he's 6'8", bro. I think he's about 6'7". Honestly, that's me. But
well, we'll measure his height when he dunks on Carolina. How about that?
Listen, I love the optimism.
We'll do that.
I love the optimism. It's not happening.
But I just think
year,
from the wing position in general, though, like we're so deep from the wing position that's going to spell a lot of trouble, man, for a lot of defenses.
I think your sleeper player is Wilkins. Honestly, Sebastian Williams. Ain't that his name?
Oh yes.
Wilkins.
Yes.
Wilkins.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he's your sleeper player this year.
What were you gonna say, Riley?
I was like, you gotta give before. I'm still looking at what Real Madrid listed Dame Sarr at. I will report to you shortly. But I was gonna say you haven't even let Lindsell give his case for why Carolina has the better backcourt.
So
I want to hear this.
To me, the better backcourt. I mean, Carolina to me has a lot more options. And, and I've always said that, and even Isaac always says it too, that you don't have to have a team full of great players, but you can have a team full of good players, basically. And I think every single one of our players are at that level as far as definitely good players. I think we're deeper in the backcourt than, of course, Duke is. Now, Duke might have the height, whatever you want to call it, but at the same time, we got that height too. If we want to pull somebody and put them in certain spots or whatever, the Jonathan Powells, the Luka Bogoviches, like, Jaden Young, who is like 6'4", but I mean, I think he's bigger than 6'4", honestly. I mean, seeing him in person and a lot stronger for sure. So, I mean, you got all of those guys, but I mean, if we need to move them around, then we can. And I just think that, we have better shooting because Cayenne shooting 40%. I'm a believer in Cayenne more than everybody else is. A lot of people's like, the point guard position is in question and all of that and stuff. I truly believe in Cayenne. Like, especially looking at the stats that I seen earlier today, like the latter part of the season last year with Colorado State, like dude was in double figures. I mean, how many did he hit against Maryland? I mean, I forgot how many he hit.
He had 6 against Memphis. I think he had 10 points against Maryland, but he had the big game against Memphis.
Yeah, so I mean, he's shooting 40% from 3. I mean, to me, I think. I keep forgetting about Isaiah Dennis, who's another one. If we need to put him in, I mean, he's 6'5". He's got some height. The kid can ball. To me, and from what I've seen,
he's nice.
I don't know how much playing time he's gonna get, But then you got Derek Dixon, who I think is, top of the line, honestly. Like, the kid can shoot, he can pass. He just, his game reminds me of Joe Forte so much. Like, I put that comp out there to a lot of people. So he might not be as pure as Forte, but he has that whole persona, that whole aura to himself that reminds me of Joe Forte. So I just think that we're just a slight bit better than Duke. And now that's not taken away from Duke, but what hurts y'all is Caleb Foster. I think he's cheeks, honestly. I think he's like Rikishi cheeks, like from wrestling, like big cheeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rikishi used to slap the cheeks. I think he's big cheeks.
Nah, I never. I don't know if you're talking about wrestling or something else. I don't know. I didn't watch no man.
Yeah, Rikishi. You know about Rikishi from wrestling.
I don't watch wrestling, bro.
That's back in the days. That's back in the days. Or just look him up. You know, Riley know who Rikishi is.
I don't know.
You don't know who Rikishi is.
You're
I should have pulled him up. But I ain't even gonna do that. I ain't even gonna shit.
No, I
pull him up when you get him.
I hear what you're saying. But I also think that before we do the pod next time, we're gonna give you a breathalyzer, because you're definitely drunk.
I don't need that
when you're saying that stuff.
But water, baby, water.
But I do like. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like your backcourt. Like, I do like your backcourt. But like I said, I think what you guys lack is that elite player. You know what I'm saying, in the backcourt. That's where I feel like. It's kind of like, that's why you guys I can't give you the advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, in our backcourt, we got 2 elite guys. That probably will be starting at the same time.
Who?
What was that?
Who's elite?
Slim and
Isaiah and Dame.
I give you Slim.
I'll give you I was gonna say I'll give you Dame. Both guys are like Dame's a projected first rounder right now. I think Isaiah's at least projected to get drafted. I think Caden Boozer, you see him on some draft boards. So if you want to look at that, then yeah, there's maybe some of the more natural talent or some of the more like pedigrees on Duke's roster. Yeah. To Zell's point, I actually think, I'm sorry, Zell. If Luka is considered a guard, or if we're talking Luka as a wing, that could swing it. I just think, like, if you're going through like the projected starters, to me, it's like Kyan Evans versus Caleb Foster. I know Zell's going to say Kyan. I'm going to say that's a push just because I want to see what Kyan looks like moving up a level. Trimble versus Evans. I think Trimble versus Evans is more of a push than Duke fans want to admit. And then if you're looking at the 3 spot with Luka to Dame Sarr, I think that might be a push as well.
And let's not forget Jonathan Powell.
So if you're talking about, we can go to the bench too. We're gonna do all that. We just talking about the starters right now, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a push, because I think that Isaiah Evans is clearly a better player. Like, it's clear that he's a better player than Seth. Right? I think it's pretty clear.
I think he has a higher ceiling. I think he's got a better NBA future,
without a doubt. But
I still think you might have to, you're taking some steps to say that like Evans is for sure going to put it all together. And, I know he was a prolific scorer at North Mech. To me, I would have liked to see, I would put more stock into that if he had done it at like Montverde or IMG or something. And even then, like, I know the knock on him coming out of high school was all he can do is shoot, like he doesn't guard or whatever. I thought Isaiah Evans played pretty good defense last year. However, I just want to see, does he still look like the same defender without Malawach guarding the basket? Does he look like the same defender without? I guess they will have a lot of that like positional length around him again. To me, it was just having like Malawach and Flag as your safety blanket, where you got Malawach as that primary rim protector with Flag sliding over to swat away shots whenever he so chooses. I think that can cover up so many flaws defensively. And I think Pat Gongba can be an impactful defender, and obviously Malik Brown can be as well. But I think Boozer will probably be a decent defender for his position too. But I still think those guys, like like Flag and Malawatch was such an otherworldly combo defensively that you don't really see those types of tandems all that often in college basketball, and even more rarely when it's two freshmen. So that's where I would say, like, I think Evans for sure. I understand why he's on draft boards and Seth Trimble isn't. I just think there's a chance that like he doesn't put it all together, or he's still a little one dimensional, and maybe Seth is you give him some of that gritty veteran like seasoned presence, and combine that with maybe some strides he makes in his game, and he could be as impactful, if not more.
So I got a question. Let me go ahead, Pablo. Go ahead.
No, so I would say, even if you say like Slim stay one dimensional, let's say he does stay one dimensional next year, right? And he just shoots threes, but he's hitting them at 41% like he did last year. He's still better than Seth Trimble. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I say that, you know what I mean? I don't think it's a push, because even if he's doing that and like shooting at a clip like that, that's a huge benefit for Duke and everybody else on the court. So, you know, I just don't know if he's going to shoot that higher percentage this year. I mean, I don't know, but I know he'll shoot a lot more. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It'd be interesting. So if Seth Trimble takes the jump, it could be close.
Let me ask this question, and this is for both teams, actually, for Carolina and for Duke, because I think it's something to actually think about. Come March, when it comes to the Blue Devils, just speaking on the Blue Devils, we all know throughout the season the roster gets shorter as far as the players, the coming off the bench, you know, all of that and stuff. It gets shorter. You're not going to play, you're not 13 players or whatever the case may be. How many and what players from Duke are going to get the bulk of the minutes? Because Duke has a lot of guys, but Carolina's got a lot of guys too. So my question is, how many and what players from Duke do you think, Pablo? I'll go with you first because you being the Duke guy. What players and how many do you think Shire is going to narrow it down to?
I think you're going to see something different this year. No, I think you're going to see something different this year, and I say that because it's not clear how it was last year. I think last year it was very clear who needed to be on the court at all times, no matter what was going on in the game. It was clear. I think this year is going to be a little different. So it's like he's going to have to figure that out during the season and play the right combos and figure out who's going to be the right combos. So, you know,
who does Pablo
I think it's just one of those things, man. And I think he's going to learn from even last year. Huh?
Who does Pablo want to see as far as his final 9 or whatever the case may be? Because normally by the time March comes around, teams are down to about what, 9 players? Pablo, you know all of them are not going to get all of that playing time. So my question is, what 9 players? Let's go with 9. What 9 players does Pablo want to see playing at the end of the season from Duke?
Okay, so I'll give you 2 different answers. The basketball coach in me want to tell you, you know, whoever is playing the best or whatever, and, you know, keep playing a longer rotation. But the guy that's sitting on the podcast with 2 UNC guys, just trying to help their program out.
We don't need help, brother. We don't need help at all, my brother. You know?
Nah. I would say
honestly.
Obviously,
hold on. I gotta cut in real quick. What if there's a world where Hubert Davis hires Pablo Cong to be in his like scouting department?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, I'm there.
Good question.
I'm there. I'm there. If Hubert Davis reached out to me and was like, "Yo, I need you to come scout for me," I'm there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I put my biases aside. You know, I put my biases aside, and that's one thing I think I've always been good at, man. Never mind. I was gonna say something totally crazy, but
all right. Sorry to interrupt you. You can get back. You can get back to the 9 players you want to see.
That's a really good question.
I think I would go with. So I think I would go with Caleb, Dame, Isaiah, Cam, Big Pat, Malik. Obviously has to be out there at some point. Sebastian and Nick. Maybe even Darren Harris. You know what I mean? He could be the game breaker if we need him to be. You know? I don't know, man. It's just so many different things you could do, bro. It's hard to say that, bro. It's really hard to say that right now. I guess I got to see how the season progresses, man, and see who
that the
does
roster
as well, and see who does what.
He got you
No, we still got more guys, bro.
Who?
Iffy, the Rice kid.
Okay, I mean,
Lizelle, me and Pablo once had way too much of a heated debate on Iffy versus Ivan Matlakovich in terms of the bigs who are never going to see the court for our respective teams. And
Hey, wait, Riley, hold on. You don't think Matlakovich is going to see the floor?
No, I don't think he's going to see the floor. He played in 5 total games for High Point, man.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sorry, Riley.
But Linzel, I will say this. So Pablo was texting me like, nah, man, Iffy's way better. Iffy's an athlete. I went and watched Iffy tape. Both Iffy and Matlakovich are like chained to the floor. Those dudes cannot jump. I think I have a higher vertical than both of them. So they're both just going to be there to get cool gear and like play hard in practice.
So y'all only picked up. Who else y'all got on the team though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Sheffield, Wilkins,
on Duke. Yeah, you got Sheffield.
You haven't named.
Oh boy, what's his name? Jack, the kid that came from Princeton. Damn man, good
Jack
question,
Scott,
bro.
I think that's his name.
Jack Scott, I think is the name. Is it Jack Scott?
I don't even know. And you call yourself a Duke fan?
Yeah. So look at it is.
No, I just named 9 guys. I named 11 guys.
So
Caden Boozer.
he did give you the 9 you asked for, Linzel.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Darren Harris, Jack Scott, Cameron
Wilkins?
Sheffield, and Iffy. Yeah. You said Wilkins would be in the rotation. So you gave the 9 that would be in the rotation. So what I would say to your point, Pablo, with this Duke team, what day is it? It is October 1st, the day we're recording this. At this time of year, every coach loves their depth. Every fan base is like, oh, we got depth. I actually think Duke does have depth. Like the 9 players you named, they're all high-level dudes, plus like Darren Harris, who could be the 10th man, who was the Peach Jam MVP 2 years ago. I love Darren Harris like that. Peach Jam Darren Harris is special. So I think that to me, I was kind of saying when I'm looking at these two teams, why I'm giving Duke an advantage right now, it's because of the seasons they had last year and with like, and I don't mean there's not a 1-for-1 correlation, but just Duke gets the benefit of the doubt from a coaching perspective right now over what UNC is coming off of from last year and like even culture, all of that. But like why I could still see, I think Duke still is comfortably a top 10 team because even if they don't have the same star power as last year with Cooper Flagg, with Kama Malawach, with Con Knipple, they still have Cam Boozer is a star. And then they have a bunch of just high-level guys to where there won't be much drop-off when they go to the bench. Now, with Carolina, I think the hope is that they can get there because, Linzel, you were talking about which guys do we want to see on the court. I still would guess that ultimately Hubert settles in on like an 8-man rotation. That's pretty much what he's done for his whole career. And I think the 8 guys, like, this top 8 could be as good as like the 2024 team that got a 1 seed. Some variables have to break, but the ceiling is there for them to be, I think, a top 10-ish team when it's all said and done. But yeah, I think it's got to be, Kyan, Seth, Bogovats. That's your 1, 2, 3. Caleb Wilson at the 4, Vasar at the 5, and then your 3 main bench contributors. I think you got to go Derek Dixon, Jonathan Powell, Jaron Stevenson. And to me, if that ends up being the top 8, maybe you get spot minutes for James Brown and Zayden High here or there when you need a little size. But I think it's sort of contingent on, like, can Jaron Stevenson get tougher around the basket? Like, he shot 42% from the field last year as a 6'10 forward. Like, that's not going to cut it. He has to be better, like, rolling to the hoop. He's a good rebounder, but I watched him smoke way too many layups on putbacks last year. And I want to see him get stronger. I want to see him get a little tougher around the basket because if he can hold his own at the 5, I think calling him like a special defender would be maybe a bridge too far, but he's close to it. He's a really, really good defender, really versatile, who can switch on to smaller players, guard on the perimeter, move his feet. Would love to see maybe some shot blocking instincts come a little bit more to the forefront. But I think he will have a role because of his defense. I just want to see, some of that strength come forward around the basket. And then, I'm a massive Derek Dixon believer. I know we kind of glossed over him a little bit with the backcourt discussion, but I think there's a world where, the minutes at the 1 end up like closer to a timeshare between him and Kyan than we would have expected. Just because I love giving this stat about Derek Dixon. He played for Team Takeover on the EYBL circuit. Peach Jam 2024, Team Takeover went 13-1. Derek Dixon averaged 15 a game and shot 39% from three. And he's 6'5". Like those types of dudes translate. He might not be a star, but he is going to be a very high level role player, I think, from day one.
Yeah. I listen, I totally agree with you. I mentioned that on the on his player upside edition that I did on him or whatever, that, you know, as far as him being that, you know, that guard that's actually going to, like, to me, there's a world where he could end up starting, possibly. Like, I mean, so I mean, that's just, to me, that's just how deadly he is. You know, that says a lot, because if you can come in, a lot of people think that right now it's just guaranteed for Cayenne to start. And to me, I don't think that that's the case, especially when you got somebody like Derek Dixon right there in the wing that's like, yo, don't slip up, because I can't get that spot if need be. And I mean, of course, I think he will excel in that position and take things like basically to the next level. Like every player to me that Carolina has, I think it helps them as a better team. I think you know, to be a better team. I'm with you, especially on Jaren Stevenson. To me, I want to see a dog. I want to see that Harrison Ingram and Jaren Stevenson. If we can get that from Jaren Stevenson, Carolina's going to be deadly, just because of the fact that Stevenson is one of those, he's a stretch 5, not even a stretch 4. But if he's playing that 5 position, I mean, you can pull that defense out. You can pull people like Big Pat with his slew feet, whatever you want to call it, you know, whatever you want to call him or whatever. I think he's a dirty player anyway, but that's another story. But you bring him out of the paint, that's just leaving it wide open for players like Caleb Wilson to get to the basket, Derek Dixon, Seth Trimble with his penetration to be able to get to the basket, people like Luka, whatever the case may be. So, of course, to me, every player complements each other on this Carolina team. And I think that that's something that they really needed. And it's going to be fun to watch them this year, regardless of what happens. I just think that it's going to be an exciting season for sure as a Carolina fan. That's just me. But
yeah,
you know.
I think you guys got something that actually resembles a team this year. So that's a good thing.
I'm with you. I think anytime you have a season like Carolina did last year with, I mean, people forget UNC was preseason number 9. Like we were a preseason top 10 team and it was gone in 2 weeks. Yeah. And what
never redeemed it for sure.
That was like one of the most joyless seasons of my fandom. And not even... I'm sure you did, Pablo. I would have too. I have said this on your Discord, Linzel, but what was the score? It was like 40-12 in Cameron at one point. I never want to see that happen again. I don't care if that Duke team ends up being the most elite team by KenPom numbers of all time, because I know they're up there. Like there should never be an instance where UNC is down 40-12 against Duke. And so anytime you turn over a roster and you get a fresh start, I think it does breed a lot of optimism. But like y'all both are saying, I think the roles on this team just should fit so much more smoothly than they did last year. And it does resemble a real team with guys who complement each other instead of just 4 ball dominant guards who don't have any big men to take the pressure off them, and you can just load up on them, who are all streaky shooters too, you know?
And I mean, listen, we are deep in the backcourt and the front court as well. Like, I think a lot of people, because, you know, you started to mention the guys like Vezar, of course, but then, I mean, right behind that, you got Stevenson, of course, and then you got people like Zayden High, who can also be a stretch forward, depending on what he does, you know, this year as far as his gameplay and all of that and stuff. But then you got James Brown, who's just big body. I mean, to me, I mean, he could actually come in and step in and be that backup 5 more than Stevenson, and you move Stevenson to the 4. So to replace Caleb, because somebody's going to have to, like, you know what I'm saying, when Caleb needs a break. So, I mean, but then you got Matt Lakovich. If you just wanted somebody to just come in, hey, pick up 3 fouls. I need you to get 3 fouls for me or whatever. Just don't let him score. Like, you know, and at 7-2, sometimes you got to utilize that and use it. So, I mean, we have a lot of depth in the front court as well. And, you know, to me, the thing is, like they always say, having a lot of good players or having enough players is a good thing, but it could also be a bad thing as well. So, and I mean, this is just a good thing for Carolina this year. And I think that a lot of these guys are going to look at things in regards to like, this is a brand new team. We're all gelling together. I don't think you're going to have like no egos and all of that, like bouncing around or in the locker room with this team, because I just think that everything is new for everybody. So they're still going to be learning. The only ones that they get, the only ones that they're going to be able to learn from is Trimble or Brown. So I mean, that's just how I feel about it. But I mean, they very edgy this year. We got an edgy team. Riley. So I mean, more than we had last year. So I mean, it's gonna be fun,
need
man.
That edge.
Man, we not worried about Duke.
I'm not even talking about Duke. I'm just talking about.
We're not worried about Little Bank. We're not worried about Little Bank. Okay.
I'm just. You might. Where y'all play in Lexington? Y'all play Kentucky?
Mm-hmm. We do play out Kentucky. Yep.
They might beat y'all by 40.
And Pablo, congratulations. Y'all finally got a brutal schedule, non-conference schedule for once. Y'all finally did it. Congratulations. Bravo.
Yeah, the schedule last year and the year before that.
Last year's schedule ain't nothing compared to this year. I think this year's is more.
No, obviously this year's schedule is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they want to play the best. You got the best school, so you might as well play the best, right?
Well, we're gonna see what y'all made of. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna see what
we
y'all
definitely
are.
Another All-American.
Pablo's sneaking in that they might beat y'all by 40. Lindsay didn't even notice. I hate to admit, there's a chance we get ran out of rough. I can't lie. There's a chance we get run out of rough.
Riley, what are we doing? Riley?
Hey, I gotta come with some balance, man. We've like
and I'm not a Kentucky guy.
Nah. Listen,
right,
Greg and Carter are
I'm
not
not
here.
a Kentucky guy, but I think that they might.
All right, fine. You want me to say this, Lindsay? We're gonna come into Rupp in late November, early December, whenever that game is. Caleb Wilson's going to have a 30 burger. He is going to put Jaden Quaintance in a body bag, and Kyan Evans and Seth Trimble play. Let's say, for the sake of this, I want my freshman lottery pick Caleb Wilson to put another projected lottery pick Jaden Quaintance in a body bag. And I'll go as far as to say this: Seth Trimble is going to put the clamps on Jalen Lowe, cut the head off the snake. I do want to see us get the better of Lowe. Jalen Lowe always hoops against Carolina. And I do not think I don't think he's like that. I don't think he's Kentucky point guard caliber good, but he has had his moments against Carolina. So that's that one where
good.
I'm not a low believer, man. He's so skinny and inefficient at the rim and just gets walled off so easily.
You know what Jalen Lowe reminds me of? The same thing what all the Carolina fans are saying about Kyan Evans. It's kind of like that same level, like in regards to like his what's he going to be able to do at Kentucky? The same thing people are saying. What is Kyan Evans going to be able to do at Carolina? That's where he's at with me. To me, Denzel Aberdeen is a little bit higher than Jalen Lowe.
I'm a big believer in Aberdeen. I think Aberdeen can hoop, and he's a national champion too, so he deserves that respect. But
that too.
All right, so. I also wanted to, because we got 8 minutes before I got to get out of here, but I wanted to ask Pablo. You know, Pablo, I know people don't know this based on maybe your Discord persona where you're always getting jokes off. Pablo is nice with the pen. Wrote a scouting report on Caleb Wilson. Very well written, very informative about his game. What do you think Carolina fans need to know about Caleb Wilson? / where are you as a Duke fan like, oh, man, this guy could hurt us a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I said, I think he's the only real threat on the roster that no matter who you guys play, he will definitely do his numbers. You know what I mean? For sure. I mean, he's just elite in everything that he does. I think the only thing that he doesn't do elite is shoot the ball. Everything else, I think he's elite at almost everything else. And I think he's sort of an undisciplined defender, but I think he plays so hard and he's so athletic and quick that he makes up for a lot of mistakes on defense, with just, his overall talent. He's just going to be special for you guys, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to get a guy like that in anytime soon after he leaves, but I tell you, man, that kid is good. Like, he's really, really good. Like, I'm anxious to see what he does, in a college setting, obviously. And I think Hubert really needs to use him the right way, for sure. He just needs to let him just do his thing. Just say, hey, Caleb, just go do
you got to take him off the leash for sure. Got to take him off the leash for sure.
So when you say he's an undisciplined defender, this was so I watched like a lot of his Knight Riders games with the Boozer twins, and you see like the athletic flashes, like his shot, like his block shots are incredible. You know, that makes all the highlight montages of he is that weak side shot blocker who slides over, swats attempts into the bleachers. There were times where I did think like watching him guard on the perimeter, guarding in space, where I did see him get like a little undisciplined, or even sometimes it seemed like he fell asleep a little bit, which I think the reports coming out of like Carolina's practices and everything has been from the day he's arrived, you know, high motor type of dude, to where when you watch that EYBL tape, it's like, I wonder why he didn't always seem the most locked in, even in like those ISO defense reps. But yeah, like what did you notice from his defensive tape?
No, I just think that's just a testament to him playing on an elite team that covers up a lot for what he was doing out there. So it's like he didn't have to do a whole bunch on defense. He just had to be the weak side shot blocker, like you said. So it was a little different. I think this year it might be a little different depending on how good you guys defend. But if he can be that weak side, you know, defender and the secondary defender and the weak side shot blocker, you know, with Vezar obviously anchoring the defense on the block, I mean, you could definitely see him. Like Caleb Wilson could literally go top 10 or top 3, literally. You know what I mean? That's how good he actually is. Now, again, I want to see what Hubert does and how he uses him. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
I mean, I think Zell and I are on the same page with you. Zell, how do you like? Have you watched much of Caleb Wilson? Where are you at on him in terms of like? To me, I look at him like this dude is Carolina's best player. He's the one who from game one put the ball in his hands. I know his game is a little more like, you don't want him taking maybe 15 shots a game, but I think you want to run everything through him. But where are you at with him?
I'm on the same page with what you're saying, what Pablo was saying in regards to him just being elite. Like, I mean, his skill, his talent. I mean, I just think I love the fact, because I went to the first scrimmage game, the alumni scrimmage game. I was there, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I saw a lot of point forward. Like, I saw him bringing the ball up the court. I love the fact that he has that ability to be able to do that at 6'9", I think it's 6'9" or whatever. But I mean, he's just skilled in so many different areas. But you know, like Pablo said, you know, once he gets in rhythm in regards to his shooting, again, he's a complimentary player, even though he is elite, but he's going to complement everybody else on the team. To me, every player on Carolina's team this year complements every other player. Like Vezar is going to complement Cayenne and Seth. And, you know, looking at some of these footages that we've seen, you know, dropping on social media, I'm seeing the pick and pops and the pick and rolls and the lobs and all of that. And like, it just seems like every player is just going to help every other player just take things up another level. So, but you know, in regards to Caleb Wilson, he's going to do what Caleb does. And I love the fact that he just has that. He's Carolina, as Coach Davis said. Like, everything he talks about is Carolina. It's never about him. So, you know, it's not like Ian Jackson last year. Hey, coach, what can I do to get better? Like, no, it's pretty much, I mean, he hasn't said in these type of text messages, but it's like, yo, what can we do to be better? And to me, that's a player that you need on your team. And I mean, of course, he's going to bring edge. He's already starting up a lot of stuff when it's like, I don't like Duke, I don't like State, I don't like Wake, who I'm surprised caught a stray in that, because they shouldn't even been involved in that conversation or in that quote at all. But I mean, it is what it is. He's shooting at everybody from the state of North Carolina. That's fine. So, I mean, I love the fact that he's keeping all of that kind of like going and kind of getting some of that stuff started, because that ain't gonna do nothing but fuel the rest of the guys on the team. So I love it. I love it. I'm just excited for this year, man, especially after the season that we had last season. I think it's just going to be a great season or whatever. So, a few things I might be a little concerned about, but I think over time, all of that is going to blossom to me. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Caleb, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
Me? I mean, if I'm looking at the front court collectively, I love Caleb. I think he'll average close to 16, 17 a game, honestly. Somewhere in that 15 to 17 range, I'll say.
Yeah.
This is probably my hottest take, but I like the Caleb Vasar pairing better than I like the Cam Boozer Pat Gongba pairing. I think Boozer is the best player of that quartet. I think that Caleb might be a little bit closer to him than, maybe casual fans want to admit. But I think that collective unit at that 4-5, just having that size and the defensive potential, and guys who are both skilled. Vasar can pass, man. Like, you put him at the top of the key and allow him to read a defense, he will make the right play. He can make the right read out of the short roll. Again, I know the socials team have been putting those clips of him. Like, I want to say it was a play where, like, Kyan initiated the offense. It was Vasar on the short roll who kicked it to Seth in the corner, who swung it to Luka, who hit a step back three. And I was like, yes, that's the ball movement I want to see. Having a big who can make that play is such an asset that Carolina had no semblance of last year. So I think there's a real vision there for it to work offensively. I would like one of them to be able to knock down threes at a clip in the mid-30s. Hopefully both can be that, and maybe Vasar can do it on a similar volume as last year. But, yeah, to me with Duke, like, if we go back to the roster comparisons, I think Gongba has a lot of talent in terms of, he was that same type of playmaking big at Paul VI coming out of high school. We just haven't really seen him do it beyond, I guess, there was like that 4-game stretch last year where he was playing double-figure minutes. But for the most part, to me, I think he's still really unproven, and that's why I'd give the edge to Carolina right now.
Yeah. For sure. I'll say this, Riley, before you go. I got one big hot take. North Carolina will be top 3 defensive teams this year.
Top 3. I mean, they were top 10 2 years ago. We've seen Hubert do it. What'd you say, Pablo?
Drug test him.
All right, I'm telling you all right, just mark my word. I'm telling you, man. I feel this is just a totally different team. If this was last year, my of course, everybody else's biggest concern, we didn't have a big. Now we got about 4 of them, 5 of them, whatever the case may be. It kind of goes back to when we had Dayron, Walker, Garrison, and Mondo that year or whatever. So, I mean, we had bigs. Now, some of them went on to go to the NBA, of course, and, well, matter of fact, all of them is kind of pretty much in the NBA. So, I mean, to be honest,
China and everywhere else, Singapore and all that stuff.
No, they're in the NBA. Well, no, because Baycott.
Dayron and Walker.
Armando went over.
Dayron went overseas.
No,
Mondo went.
Yeah, Mondo went overseas, but Armando's making like 7 figures overseas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he's he's got a good overseas contract.
Where's he playing? Like Israel or something?
I can't remember, honestly.
Where's he playing, in Gaza?
Oh my God. Listen, fellas, thank you. Oh my God. Yo, what's wrong with this guy, man? Like, yo, this guy's crazy, man. This guy is crazy. I don't get it. Sometimes you just got to keep him on mute because he's just going to come out and just say anything crazy sometimes. Like, Jesus. Listen, Riley, I appreciate you though, man. I know that you got a heart out. You got to go and take care of business and everything.
Absolutely.
But of course,
got to do this.
It's always love over here. You always welcome over here. This is another home for you, bro. So much
appreciate
love
you,
man. And listen, this weekend, need to see you gonna be in town. You gonna be in Chapel Hill?
I'll be at the blue and white game. Are you coming?
Listen, we'll link up.
Sounds good.
I'll be at the Clemson game too. But
okay,
yeah,
sweet.
I'm
not paying money to go watch UNC football, but I will be at the blue and white game.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not on your level, Riley, but when you can get like a free ticket, you gotta take it.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's wise on your part. If I got a free ticket, I would. Just let it be clear, I'm not spending U.S. currency on UNC football right now.
I'm right there with you, my brother. Right there with you, for sure. But
Appreciate
man,
you.
I appreciate you, man, for sure.
crazy.
And of course, we're gonna do this again, man. We're gonna do this again. This was good. This was fun.
For sure. See y'all.
Hey, question real quick, Riley. Do you guys write at the Sleepers? Do you guys write articles
No, we
at
don't.
Sleepers?
We might there might be written content coming up on the pipe, but right now
Hey.
we don't.
Riley, talk to him because there's the man right there.
Pablo, lead writer for Sleevers. Are
That'd be
we
Listen,
negotiating the
y'all
business deal on
building-
air?
Y'all building the Avengers over there. I mean,
That's
why
true.
not? That's Thanos right there. He got the head and everything. That's Thanos right there.
Nah, y'all boys be good, man. Good to talk to you, Riley. Good to talk to you,
Of
Lindsay.
course, man. Good talking to y'all.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys, man, for sure. We'll talk
Yes,
later,
sir.
though, for sure.
Yes, sir. Peace.
You still hip hop?
That was dope.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you turn it off?
Nah, I
You
ain't
still
stopped.
recording, bro?
Yeah, I know. We still making it happen. I
Why
ain't
you
even
ain't
did my
stopped it?
outro yet. I ain't even did my outro yet. Like, come on, man.
Oh, damn, my fault. Your fault.
Yeah,
My fault.
I mean, it's all good. I
Go
knew
ahead, do your
Riley
thing.
had to go. Yes, it is what it is or whatever. But nah, man, like, listen, I just want, of course, I mean, you already know, man. I appreciate both of you guys, man. You know what? Should we go ahead and plug what we talked about a week ago, or should we wait?
Yeah. We'll wait on that. But I was gonna tell you to plug that link that Caleb Wilson article though.
Oh, I got you. I already got you. I was getting ready. I'm getting ready to add all of that because I'm putting all of that in the outro anyway. So, but that would, yeah, we could go ahead and I go ahead and close out the show or whatever. But listen, I appreciate everybody for joining, man, for sure. You know, and checking out the episode today, man. Of course, like I said, my brother of another color, my brother from another mother. You know, these are my guys right here. We talk all the time. We go back and forth. We in a little group chat. Like, it's crazy. Make sure y'all join the Discord. It's free to join right now. They've been jumping my guy. They've been jumping my brother, but he been holding his own. I gotta admit that. They've been in there jumping him for sure. I mean, but he started it. So you get what you give. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But that's free to join. Make sure y'all get the merch. I got some more merch and stuff that's being lined up. Make sure y'all follow the Heels in the Paint podcast. The ladies, man, they got some stuff coming up, like some big things coming up. Like I got to get with them, find out when that first show is dropping and stuff. And don't forget the 100 Yards of UNC, the radio show, man, every Tuesday night at 8:00 on Twitter Spaces with my man Coach Steve. He's had some last night. I think he had the Tar Pit guys on, Troy, Trevor, Chris Smith. Big shout out to them, man. They doing some big things over there at Tar Pit for sure. And I think that's it. Of course, y'all know, follow me on my socials. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure that I'm going to put the link in the description for the article that Pablo wrote on Caleb Wilson. That's going to be in the description below. So make sure when you get a chance, check that out. Check that article out. Some really good stuff in there, man. Like, you know, even though Pablo's a big Duke fan, you know, he's good peoples or whatever. And I mean, it was a super dope article that he wrote on Caleb Wilson for sure, or whatever. So that's going to be in the description below as well. So, but other than that, I appreciate everybody for rocking with us. We had fun. We're going to make some things happen. Of course, we got some big things lined up for the future. So make sure y'all stay in tune, stay in tune for that, because you're not going to want to miss that. Real quick, Pobs, I do have to go ahead and plug this part in. I'm going to also put the link for the 94 Feet of CBB Discord. That's also going to be in the description below, man. If you're a lover of college basketball as a whole, whether you're a Duke fan, whether you're a Valparaiso, whether you're Vanderbilt, whether you're Alabama, doesn't matter. Come join the 94 Feet of CBB. Discord or whatever. That thing's gonna be kind of big here soon or whatever. So get in while you can get in or whatever. It's free to join. So that link's gonna be in the description too. So make sure y'all tap on that, man. It's free to join. Come join everybody and have a good time and some good conversation. So other than that, I appreciate everybody, man. Gotta put the out in. More player upside downside editions coming soon. The next one is up on Cayenne Evans. And until then, hey.